Hey heroes, welcome in. Recently, we complained about some tweaks and praised some tweaks that Marvel and DC has made to some of our favorite characters. So today, instead of just complaining about those things, we want to talk a little bit about how to fix some of
We
those
offer
issues.
solution. So, Kyle, today, the main character we want to focus on is Taskmaster,
hmm
right? Taskmaster has very recently been, in our opinion, heavily ruined. It's very disappointing what we got to see out of it in Thunderbolts. So, again, like Kyle said, instead of just whinging and just complaining about it, we are here to offer solutions. So, Kyle, I have two forms of solution.
hmm
One of what they could have done in Thunderbolts to fix the character rather than just having popped it off in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And one where it's like going forward, what they could do to still fix Taskmaster going forward in the future.
Yes.
Which
Be-
would you like to hear first?
well, let's start with at the beginning here and talk a little bit about what they did poorly and
All
how
right.
they could have done it well in the
Mm-hmm.
past.
All right.
Mainly, I want to point out that Taskmaster is one of my favorite characters. That conceptually, he's one of the coolest
So cool.
characters.
So
Just the perfect counter to any being. That's the concept, and it's great. Now that being said,
cool.
there was a lot of issues with the way they portrayed her in the Suicide Squad movies and in Thunderbolts. Or no, sorry.
Let's start from there's a lot of.
There's a lot of things that they could have done differently in Thunderbolts to set up for going forward instead of just writing her off entirely.
Yeah,
Let's
they
get
just
into it.
popped her in the first 5 minutes. And I mean, we have talked and talked and talked about it. And hold on. All right, hold on. Let's start this over. This is bad.
I realized where I fucked up. I meant to say
Uh,
Black Widow. I meant to when I was like when I
yeah.
said yeah. So I meant Black Widow. Is what I was like. Where did
So
my
let's take
brain
it
go there?
from.
Let's just restart.
I feel like the beginning was good, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's just take it from the top.
might
Take it
as
from the
well.
top.
Fuck it. Hey heroes, welcome in. This is Lucas Rand. I am Kyle Cage, and we are your hosts for hire. Recently, we did a little bit of whinging and complaining about some characters and how they've been tweaked by Marvel and DC. So instead of just complaining about it and letting all the problems out, we're going to try and come up with some solutions this
Wouldn't you
time.
think it? We offer solution, not just complaining. Comic book fans, us included, our favorite thing to do is complain. It's
and
just
offer.
how we get by life. Is just complaining about the comic things that we wish we had. So
Yep.
instead, we offer solution, and I want to start with this character because I hated so much what they did with it recently in Thunderbolts, and that's Taskmaster.
hmm
They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to pop the character off within the first 5 minutes. And we have some solutions as to how. There's two forms of solution here, Kyle. We got one form where what they could have done in the movie Thunderbolts, rather than just killing her, in our opinion, that would have fixed it. And then the second one is going forward in the MCU. How could they still redeem the character of Taskmaster? I know,
Let's
like, whoa, how could they
let's
do that? But
let's let them know how they could have done it well first, just to prod the bear, and then we'll talk about what they should do going forward.
oh yeah, oh yeah. For me, what's huge in Thunderbolts is they gave up on the character,
hmm
right? They thought that they messed it up so bad in Black Widow that there was no redeeming it, so they might as well just pop it off in the first 5 minutes, no questions, just move on, right? I can like 5% respect that. But the other 95%, that just screams to me laziness, lack of creativity of thinking of ways to fix it. And another one is like taking fans too much to heart.
hmm
I recently rewatched Black Widow, and at the end, they really mess up Taskmaster. But like in the in between, like the concept of Taskmaster was still there. They
hmm
didn't have to just throw it away. They could have just tweaked it, made small significant changes that would have went an extremely long way. let's get into some of these changes, Kyle. One
Hmm.
that I think, like right off of the bat, that they could have done is in that first scene when they all meet up because Victoria Hand like has them all assassinating each other. That could have been a really cool opportunity to show Taskmaster just whoop the others' asses as the other ones. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Using the counters to Yelena and to US Agent and to Ghost to just essentially mop up on them, right? That right there to me would have shown in a very small way that since Black Widow to now, she has been doing a lot of work,
Been
right?
training, been
A
learning,
lot
and
of work.
even a small scene of showing that, where it's
Hmm.
her just like studying tapes of different heroes, just a wall of screens where it's just different heroes from
Show that
different
in a scene.
movies.
Make that her void room,
Mm,
right? When they're going through everybody's void room, hers could have been like an obsessive, like where you just see her disheveled, malnourished, just watching, screens. That to me would have been so cool to kind of make her character grow from where we saw her and we didn't like her at the end of Black Widow to now being this like obsessed mercenary that
hmm.
like does the job, comes home, plugs in, watches more. You know, like that would have been so super cool to me. Let us know in the comments if that would have been cool to you as well. Um,
One quick note I want to make is that it's there's something that Disney does and Marvel's been doing is that if a character is not received well, they did what they did here, and they write them
scrap
off. They say, "Oh, people don't like that character," and that's my fear going forward is that they're gonna say, "Oh, people don't like that character," instead of doing a little bit of
we messed
inward
up that
thinking and
character.
saying, "Yeah," and saying, "Oh, we didn't do that character well."
Yes. Yes.
Instead, they're like, "Oh, people must not like that character, so we're just gonna not use her
There's
again."
actually something that James Gunn said as his goal for DC that I love so much, and it's that he wants to take those diamond characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman and shine a light on why they're diamond characters, and then he
Hmm.
wants to take other characters like Peacemaker and Swamp Thing and these more obscure characters and turn them into diamond characters. That's what like I think Marvel missed on with characters like Taskmaster. Like you said, he's one of your favorite characters. Same to me. Like I wouldn't put him in my top 10, but conceptually, like he's one of the coolest villains. Um
Hmm.
seeing him or seeing her have copied moves from like Shang-Chi, Daredevil, like Black Panther, we got to see a little bit, but like of these extreme martial artists would have gone so far to redeeming her as a character.
Hmm.
Like so far, man. And that's all just within the context of Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that could all have been done within that one movie, easily.
Almost within that one opening scene. If they just would have shown her whooping the asses of the other Thunderbolts with like Daredevil moves, with Shang-Chi style like Wing Chun and like other types of martial arts, to see her using not just the Avengers, but like all the
All the
people
heroes.
who have been fighting that there's footage of them fighting. You know, like
Hmm. Spider-Man flips and like,
Spider-Man clip, like all of it, man. I think that those small little details that they could have like just shown throughout Thunderbolts would have gone so extremely far to saving the character, specifically in such a good movie like Thunderbolts, where
hmm
like we got a lot of redemption for like the
for
MCU as a like in general, like in that movie. They
mhm,
missed the chance to redeem on Taskmaster.
yeah, which they could have then used going forward to make the character anew or to revive the character, which they could still very
Yes,
easily
that
do.
brings us into the next going forward in the
Yeah.
MCU. What could they do? Right? They did what they did. They popped Taskmaster. You know, like Taskmaster fans took an L. You know what I mean? But like there is things they could do going forward that I think would save it. And follow me here, Kyle. I have a wicked idea. What if, because we saw in the end of Black Widow that there was like a Taskmaster protocol, right?
Hmm.
That I forget the main villain of Black Widow, um, but that guy basically puts his daughter through that program, turns her into the Taskmaster, right? Um, when everything explodes in the finale, it would be sweet to have kind of like we saw in Far or Homecoming, where there's like a salvage crew,
Yeah,
right?
where there's like all the different companies trying to get the different
Trying to vie
techs.
for exactly right. How cool would it be if Kingpin makes his way out with like the Taskmaster protocol, finds some lowly henchman, desperate man by the name of Tony Masters,
Mayhaps.
cuts him through this Taskmaster protocol that he now is in possession of, alluding to maybe even more than one Taskmaster, right? Like an army of them.
He would be
But
like Tony would be the general of the
you know,
Taskmasters. He'd be
and
the
basically
leader of
have
them.
like Tony Masters, aka Taskmaster, be his like bodyguard now. Now that Bullseye is kind of not his like right hand man, have Taskmaster be that like you can't touch Kingpin because I'm standing in the way, and like you
Hmm.
can't beat me.
How
You're
great of
like
a
that
scene
would
would
be
it
so
be?
cool, man.
How great of a scene would it be for Daredevil to come to him and be like something along the lines of like, "Oh, I guess you need or you need a bodyguard now," and have Taskmaster just whoop up on him and
Oh,
show
like
him
I
that
said,
like, "Oh,
as
I've
like
been
Shang
training."
Chi, as
Yeah,
Iron Fist, as these other characters that could counter somebody like Daredevil, Spider Man.
and specifically characters who counter him in that like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you exactly who could beat you and how they would do
There's
it."
so much juice in the Taskmaster character that I feel like just popping her in the first 5 minutes of Thunderbolts was so disappointing that again, Kyle and I complained about it for so long, and now we're just offering some solutions. So you guys, let us know in the comments. Do you agree with these solutions? Most importantly, do you disagree with them? Do you think that these are stupid ideas that should never see the light of day?
Do you
Because
think
that's more important.
Taskmaster it was good that they were written off and that you don't want to see the character ever again, or do you want to
Let's
see
talk about
some
that.
version of it? Because I want to hear all your thoughts. We want to know. And if you are happy that the character itself was written off and blown and just shot in the face, I would love to know why.
I'm going to
Because
argue with you.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong, but
I'm
I
going to
would
argue
still
with you.
I still want to hear why.
Absolutely. You guys, thank you for making it this far. If you have, please like, share, subscribe at Hosts4Hire podcast on all socials. We will be forever in your debt if we can make it to that elusive 10K mark. Boy, do it be elusive. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Peace.